And finally, I want to talk about how much should you spend on Google Ads? And this is a question for any different business that is thinking about using Google Ads or has already been using it. So if you're considering it, it will give you clarity on how much you should budget for this type of advertising, as well as how to calculate back your return on investment. And anyone that's already doing this, if you're looking for a Google audit, trying to figure out what is working, what is not, if you're in the dark on what this data means, even if you're having it managed by an agency, I'm happy to do a Google audit to tell you just transparently and directly what's going on and if it's working and what I think you should do about it. So how much should you spend on Google Ads? So I often think that people have this skewed in their mind of, oh, I can spend $100 and I can get a couple of leads and then I'll turn it off because I've reached, the little bit of growth that I was looking for. Yes, you can turn Google Ads on and off, which is a great luxury of being able to adapt your business to it. However, you do want to give a time of at least 14 days when you activate your ads for the system to relearn your information. So reintroduce your business ads and keywords to the algorithm to show in Google Ads. So there is some way of, if you are going to turn it on, at least do a month or more, because the 2-week time period of it learning, and then the next 2 weeks can adjust and start possibly getting your results. Now, you are going to want to be very specific in Google Ads so that you don't waste your money, that you're targeting specific keywords that your audience definitely searches. If it's a keyword about what you're offering, a problem that they're experiencing, or even a question that may lead to your solution being an option. And once you know specific keywords, speak to those customers in your ads and send them to specific pages on your website so that they're not looking around. So with doing all of this, you're going to allow more quality clicks to your website that stay longer and more likely convert into a lead by form or call or purchase, whatever it might be. And once you are very specific, you'll be able to see and refine to what is working and what is converting and what is not, and start weaning away the things that are not, so that your budget has more to not waste on keywords that really weren't getting you anything, but on the keywords that are. And so I highly suggest, as I said, is a minimum budget of at least $10 a day is about $300 per month. And so what could you get as a return if you got just one lead in this month? Would it be more than $300? And if the value of your customer is, consider the lifetime of that customer. If you have a lot of people stay with you for years, the lifetime value of that customer is definitely going to be greater than the $300 you spent. But trying to understand what is the value and cost that you benefit once you get a customer, and then of course keeping them. And once you start generating a funnel that is calculable, you'll be able to see what is the conversion rate of each of these steps and how many people do I need to get into these phases of the funnel to then get to my goal. And of course, with Google Ads, you will want to give it at least 3 months to see if there's different things that you can change, services you focus on, whatever you're profiting most. Maybe some low-hanging keywords that could be misspellings, could be specific questions that people are asking that always turn into customers. So being specific in your targeting will then allow your budget to do more with less. But the minimum, very minimum, is $10 a day. And that, again, can only be for industries that are not that competitive. So if we're going to break this down Barney style, you'll see that a $10 a day budget once you have gotten $10 spent, then your ads will no longer show. So if you have an average cost per click of $2, that means you can get 5 clicks and then your ads are no longer shown. So are those 5 clicks enough for you to reach your goals? Because if your ads are starting at 9 o'clock and then they're done by noon, anyone from noon to the end of the day may not see your business. Did you get enough value from those first 5 clicks? So that's where you want to make sure that you know your industry competitive average cost per click, so that you don't think that $10 a day is enough when what if the average cost per click for your industry is $5 a day? That means you can only have 2 clicks per day. So really make sure that you're budgeting that is accurate. If you're ever interested in getting a Google Ads keyword estimate average cost per click for your industry, send me 5 different keywords that you want to rank for. I'll respond with what the competition is, how many average searches are actually happening for those keywords, and how much it would cost per click if you started doing Google Ads. So this is definitely something that you don't want to just jump into and start doing Google Ads without some awareness of what you're looking for at the end of this campaign. Being able to work back how much will you make from a lead to how much are you willing to spend for a lead is very important, and it's always part of my conversations with my clients when we start setting expectations and goals in the beginning of our time together. So making sure that you're going to be realistic with your own goals so that you can set a budget that will help you actually get there.